Now let's focus on one unfortunate side effect of the coronavirus pandemic. That is the global surge in the use of single-use plastic products. And that impact has been twofold. First, the proliferation of protective items such as plastic gloves and masks, but also the delays or even the rolling back of measures banning or limiting the use of single-use plastic items such as bags or cups. And this is, of course, due to the need for disposable products as a preventive measure against COVID-19 infection. Well, joining us for more on this is Karen Tamari. She is a community organizer for the group Green Cross. Thanks for joining us, Karen. So let's get right to that. What does the Israeli Ministry of Health suggest on the use of these sort of single-use disposable products during this period of coronavirus?
So we spoke with the Ministry of Health. We wanted to get their point on it, if it's actually more useful, if it's more healthy to use single-use plastics. And they answered us. It hasn't come out officially yet, but we know that they've told us officially that single-use plastics are not healthier than regular plastics. If you use single-use plastics, you don't know where it came from. It went through lots of hands. It could have coronavirus on it. It's much safer to use your dishes at home and just clean them with soap and water, and that's much safer. And you can go as far as also it's better to use stainless steel, much better than using single-use plastics.
You're pointing out that you brought these items in. Stainless steel is,
yes,
even though it's used multiple times, yes, it's just as effective.
Yes. Today I was at a coffee shop and I brought my stainless steel cup and they filled it up, and that way I saved a cup that will be here for my great-grandchildren.
So one practical tip here is that people should, if they're going out to these now reopened bars and restaurants, they should perhaps try to bring their own cups. We'll see how many people do.
Exactly.
Now, as I mentioned, we see a surge in the use of these single-use plastic items. For example, some you can avoid, such as gloves or masks. Where does Israel in general rank in the use of single-use plastics compared to other countries?
So I'm really happy that you brought that up. Israel is #2 in use of single-use plastics per capita after America, because we have to copy everything America does. So we're #2, and that's a ridiculous amount of plastic that we've been using. And you're speaking about the gloves and the masks, that people aren't using them correctly. And the Ministry of Health says do not use plastic gloves. They are more dangerous than they are good. You should wash your hands. That is a much better thing to do than use the single-use gloves. So stop with the gloves, wash your hands, stop touching each other, and that's much safer than, wearing gloves for 5 hours and you touched your phone and you touched everything around you.
Well, maybe let's take it now a look global. I mean, Bloomberg News had just now a report that there is a double-digit percentage sales increase by manufacturers of polystyrene. That, of course, is better known as styrofoam. And it suggests that there has been this surge of use in these disposable plastic products because of the coronavirus pandemic. Right. So how much is a concern is that on a global level to ecological or environmental organizations?
We've taken a big hit for our cause. It's taken us a lot of steps back to remind people that single-use plastics also have really bad effects and stay here for hundreds and hundreds of years. So we have to remind ourselves and use them correctly or not use them, because the Ministry of Health is saying it's not healthier. So we think that if you throw something out, it goes away, but that's not actually what happens with single-use plastics. We have to take responsibility for our health, but as well for the health of the earth and for our future.
Now, in terms of Israel, you mentioned the high usage of single-use plastics. Is there some kind of legislation that groups like yours are pushing in order to not just rely on the consumers to do it, but actually get the government to step in and maybe regulate some of this use?
Yeah, we have a group, Green Cross is part of it. It's the Plastic Coalition, the Israeli Plastic Pollution Prevention Coalition. We are working together, a lot of organizations that are leading the fight in banning single-use plastics. Our goal is to pass a law by 2022 that bans single-use plastic, and that's what the OECD is doing until 2021. And we are part of the OECD, and Israel is acting as if we don't have any responsibility. So the IPPC, we are moving it forward. forward, the coalition. We want to pass this law. We have it written, and now we finally have a government. So you will see us, you will hear us. We're going to push this law, and we're going to ban single-use plastics.
We finally have a government, and a new minister of the environment will hopefully take up some of these issues, because as anyone who's seen these pictures of these islands of plastics in the oceans knows how serious this is. Tamari from Green Course, thank you for joining us on The Rundown.